the transgender swimmer allegedly colluded.
I believe it.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So basically, if you see the pictures of this transgender swimmer, it's like quite a bit larger.
Yeah.
Have you seen? It's pretty. It's one of the ones that like isn't doing that much to make it.
No,
look
it's not
feminine.
helping. Yeah, it's not helping. It's like as much as you all think this is helping, is not helping.
Helping what?
Like the whole like idea that they should just be able to compete against. And you go, this is like destroying times and like way huger than everybody else. Huge, broad shoulders.
Pretty funny to look at the photos and stuff too. It's good stuff. I've been loving it.
You know the transgender, they do the team photo and she's like wants to be in the front and they're like, let's get you in the back.
Pop you in the back, I think.
Yeah, let's pop you in the back.
Well, they did some of the people on the team did an interview basically trying to do an expose, and they said they've been training with this person forever or whatever, and they know that they were letting the other person win and they were with the swimmer that won, and they think they colluded to let them win the race.
They're friends, they said. And then also you just look at their times, you go, yeah, so you just having like the most off day of your life.
And statistically, it wasn't possible based on their times normally. Yeah.
And I remember I said with the weightlifter at the Olympics, because there was the huge thing.
You thought it'd be the same thing, yeah.
Well, I go, there's no way they're going to win. They didn't even like fucking get in the medal round or whatever. And I was like, yeah, they're going to throw it.
But like to what end? Because I guess what they're saying is like, see, it's not even.
Yeah, well, they're trying to say it's not an advantage.
Yeah, but then they'd have to keep doing this forever.
That's the thing is you go, yeah, like, well.
They'd have to do it more.
Well, they just get it once it's fully accepted and the debate over whether it's a fucking.
Oh, I see what you're
is
saying.
over and they go, okay, this is over. It's a Trojan horse.
I think the debate might get opened back up again if the Women's Olympics is like every podium was
well,
trans
but
people.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's so much harder to claw these things back versus allowing them. Like once you say, okay, they're allowed in the Olympics, then
I love it.
And then you go, okay, you're not allowed in the Olympics anymore. Like that's way worse than letting them in.
I honest to God,
I love it. Yeah,
cannot wait for a fucking 100-meter podium of 3 trans black fucking women.
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
It's fucking incredible.
Be best. I don't give a shit. I mean, I've said it before. I'm like, I'm
not
I'm not starting to give a shit about women's sports.
Oh, I do give a shit. I love it.
Yeah, I love it, but I'm like, this is not going to make me care about women's sports.
It is going to make me care about women's sports.
Not me.
I'm reading articles.
I mean, the articles that come up on fucking, that you get fed, but I'm not going to be like tuning in. I'll be like, hey, what's going on?
No.
I barely watch fucking men's sports.
No, I'm kind of kidding, but they basically gave anonymity to the person because they knew that there'd be, if you go on the record and you're saying that all these people are not trying, it's going to be a problem. But apparently the times are like pretty different. Like you said, the person was going from like 52 seconds from like 47 seconds, which is like these insane, you know what I mean?
Huge difference.
It was 49 to 52. You know what I mean? You're like, you don't have a 3-second differential on a 52 seconds swim, right? So
it's almost like there's some sort of agenda.
I was on deck and said to a friend, she's literally not trying. You could tell. The source said it was blatantly obvious. I was watching the 200 free. I mean, then you could get into whether or not the source is truthful. But the more important part is like statistically.
Yeah, you don't need
a source.
All this does is align with reality. Like you go, yeah, I just use common sense. To just be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you don't really need a source. But then Michael Phelps came out, and Michael Phelps was just doing a podcast, so get your career ruined by podcasting. He came out and he said it's very complicated. We should all feel comfortable in our own skin, but I think sports should be played on an even playing field. And then we
care to elaborate, Mike?
Yeah, Mike. What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that, Mike?
What's up, Mike? Me and Danny did a video that's coming out soon, which is should trans men be allowed to compete in women's nagathons?
Yes.
Yeah.
No advantage.
Yeah, because the idea, the muscle memory that they've from years of nagging. But the Michael Phelps I love that they just use the arguments that we just said in our sketch, but they go, People call it the hypocrisy of Phelps' statement, considering he was born with features that have advantaged him as a swimmer, including an exponentially larger wingspan, double jointed ankles, bigger lung capacity, and flipper-like legs, and more. So it's such funny arguments.
It's insane. You go, yeah. Women should be allowed, like biological men should be allowed to compete with women because Shaq's huge. So I mean, if Shaq's huge, why should anything?
Shaq's huge, so why can't this girl be huge? It's
Yeah,
kind of what they're saying,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, like why can't a girl also be the same size as Shaq?
Yeah.
Shaq's huge.
Shaq's huge. Why can't the girl be huge?
Can't argue with that.
Can't argue with that. So
Or
Michael,
at least I don't want to because I want to not lose my job.
that is sort of interesting that Michael Phelps has all those features, though, eh? That Michael Phelps has double jointed ankles.
Yeah, I mean he's literally the best swimmer. Of
I
all
knew
time.
that, but I didn't know that. I knew that he had bigger lung capacity, but I don't know what
I imagine-
flipper like legs. What does that mean?
I mean, probably he doesn't actually, and they're like it's just a result of him training
has
at swimming. He's like his body's adapted.
Maybe, but also maybe he is a freak of nature, which he
Yeah,
clearly
I mean,
is.
he clearly is a freak of nature, but it's also like, yeah, he's a freak of nature and he has all these things going for him. And I'm sure his like from spending half his life in a pool, his like ankles adjusted a bit, you know, like,
Yeah.
Dude, you ever see
I don't know.
fucking water polo players? Like the guys, their backs are like giant.
Well,
'cause there's
you can
swimming
work out
that
certain
stuff.
things, but how do you don't need double jointed ankles is something you're born with.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then they said he produces half the amount of lactic acid during exercise, which means that just for free by accident this is them again. Just for free by accident of his birth, he feels significantly less fatigue than someone else than even somebody else with his other genetic advantages would. So he can shut the fuck up. That's what it said.
I don't know about
Isn't that crazy though? That
is
if that's true, that he has
yeah, Michael Jordan has genetic advantages too. I don't know.
No, I'm not
Usain
agreeing
Bolt.
with them. I just didn't know those were those things.
But again, I don't
he
think
produces
that's true.
half the amount of normal.
I don't think if
lactic
he
acid.
fucking decided to not be a professional athlete, that would be true. I think he's like through training, his body's adapted to, you know, like if you train, your body adapts.
But you don't think some people have?
I'm sure there's varies, but to that degree,
some of it's true, some of it's nature, some of it's nurture.
yeah, I don't think to that degree people are like have these crazy.
Well, either way, I'm not sure why that has anything to do with him being able to transition and compete as a woman now.
Yeah.
It's like almost maybe even more of a thing where they're like, look at this guy that has all these things. It's like, it's almost more of an argument of why he shouldn't be able to compete with women.
Well, and also it's like straight up, yeah. And also it's just like their argument is like, look, nature's unfair, and you're like,
That's
so why
their
are we
big
making it more
argument.
unfair? Like,
That's a big part of their argument.